It started as curiosity, a moment stolen in the silence of my bedroom, the world outside oblivious to the awakening happening within me. I was 13, maybe 14, and I didn't have a name for it yet. Just a vague awareness, an instinct, a pull towards something unspoken. That first time it was awkward, fumbling, a surge of sensation that left me both exhilarated and guilty. No one had told me about this, at least not in any way that made it feel normal. In whispered jokes from older boys, in veiled warnings from adults, it had always seemed like something forbidden. But in that moment, it was only mine. A discovery, a release, a secret that would shape the way I moved through the world. As the years passed, what was once an act of curiosity became something else, a ritual, a comfort, a coping mechanism. Teenage years were fraught with uncertainty, rejection, longing, and I found solace in the certainty of my own body. It was the one place where I could find relief on demand, where I was enough. In my 20s, I told myself it was just a habit, something I would grow out of. I had relationships, moments of deep intimacy, but even then, the private act remained. It was different though. Sometimes it felt like an escape, other times a betrayal, like I was dividing myself between the real and the imagined. I would resolve to stop, to cut back, to detach from the need, but the resolutions never lasted. By my 30s, I understood it better. It wasn't just about desire or loneliness or boredom. It was about control, about knowing that in a world where so much was uncertain, where love was fickle and pain inevitable, I could always return to myself. It was also about shame, an ingrained sense that I should be more, be better, be different. I had read about addiction, about the rewiring of the brain, about the ways in which this thing could take hold. I'd spent hours wondering if I was trapped, or if I was simply unwilling to let go. For a long time, I didn't think much about masturbation. It was just a normal part of life, something done out of habit, curiosity, or even as a way to escape stress. But over time, I started noticing things that made me rethink my choices. At first, it wasn't obvious. I would tell myself, it's normal, everyone does it, no harm in it. But slowly, I started to feel a shift in my mindset, my energy, and even my self-control. I noticed that after indulging, I often felt drained, mentally and physically. The temporary pleasure wasn't worth the lingering feeling of emptiness afterward. Beyond that, I realized it was affecting my focus. I had goals, ambitions, and things I wanted to accomplish, but I found myself procrastinating more. It wasn't just about the act itself, it was the cycle, the guilt, the wasted time, the feeling of losing control over my own impulses. I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like feeling as though I was controlled by a habit, rather than being in control of myself. I also started questioning what it was doing to my mindset regarding relationships. Was it making me more disconnected? Was it lowering my standards? Was I using it as an emotional crutch instead of facing real-life challenges? These were questions I couldn't ignore anymore. So I made the decision to stop. Not out of shame, not because someone told me to, but because I wanted to see who I could become without it. I wanted more discipline, more energy, and more control over my own mind and body. And honestly, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, I felt the difference. I felt more present, more confident, and more in tune with my real desires and goals. I realized that true self-control isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. That's why I stopped, and I don't regret it.